Hello, and welcome to 17.4 Warframe update. I made it as fast as I can for you guys, and hopefully this will go pretty good. Add some nice music in the background. First up, new weapons. I'm going to butcher a couple of names. Some of these weapons just have dumb names. Sometimes they're foreign. But regardless, I'll try to pronounce them as best I can, and the rule is you must be rank 12 to acquire any of these weapons aside from the first two. First up, you got the Nikodai. I'm pretty sure I butchered that. It's nunchucks. We finally got them. Nice. They only do electric damage. Now we have new Sentinel, the Diggerai. I pretty much butchered that one too. Both these items can be found in the marketplace. Now for Cynic weapons, the Rakta Cernos. Excellent weapon offered from the Red Veil. Has good charge time on the bow. Next up we got the Seterai Tigers. One of my favorite weapons, the D2 Double Barrel. More powerful than the original and has a small critical build added. The Vacor Heck. Pretty much a Heck shotgun with more bullets and now a critical build on it. Excellent. Next up, the Telos Boltor. Not as good as the Boltor Prime, but better than the regular Boltor. Not much more to be said about that. Next up we got the Sinoid Simulor. This strange weapon which I haven't even used originally yet, but I'll get to it eventually. Rather strange. I can't really comment on it too much. And lastly, we got the Citura Penta. Pretty much it's a grenade launcher with a bigger boom and more shots in the magazine. More of what you love. Okay. Next category we have here is changes. These changes are not related to Conclave, we'll get to that later. And there are not nearly as many of them from the previous update video. Update 17 was pretty big. This update's probably a third of the size of the previous one, so I'll let less stuff to cover. But regardless, some things do change, for the better and for the worse. Let's hope for the better. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, compared to you. But anyway, Spectres now do more damage based on rarity. So Cosmic Spectres be extremely powerful now. Cores and Airless Derelict missions now come in bundles of 3, when they used to only come in bundles of 4, no bundles at all, they can only come in a single. Loki's Radial Disarm knocks enemies off gun emplacements instead of destroying them, which is nice. I want to use those things. Next, players only need to complete 3 levels in Invasion for rewards. Not the Infestation, the ones where it's Corpus versus Grineer. You know, they get those Organ Catalyst reactors, a lot of cash. Generally you might go there to fight the Goostrog 3 or a Zaluka Hunter, you know. I really like the Spectre one though, because the Spectres were generally just more efficient as you got higher in rank. But now they do more damage, it might make them more popular to make these Cosmic Spectres now. And everything else is nice too. Especially the cores. They do enough derelict runs. Next, Forma changes. There's a lot here. Okay, for Forma Blueprint location changes. For Tower 1 defense, rotation A. For Blueprint, instead now you get a Tower 2 mobile defense key. For Tower 3 defense, rotation B. Instead of a Blueprint, you get a bundle of 5 silver cores. And Tower 4 defense, rotation B. Instead of your Blueprint, you get a Carrier Prime Systems Blueprint. And Tower 4 defense, rotation C. Instead of your Formal Blueprint, you get a Haiku Prime Pouch. Next up, we got a Tower 4 Survival, rotation C. Instead of your Formal Blueprint, you get the Carrier Prime Blueprint. For Tower 4 Survival Rotation B, instead of a Blueprint, you now get a bundle of 5 gold cores. And now for Tower 4 Survival Rotation A, instead of a bundle of 5 gold cores, you get a bundle of 5 silver cores. But what can you do? So that's less gold cores for Tower 4 Survival. We'll just find them elsewhere, or continue doing them. Whatever we'll find a way. Next up, we got Conclave changes. If you play Conclave, good for you. If you don't, then skip the next section. But regardless, for Conclave, there's a lot of stuff always changing, balancing issues and such. We already have a few ideas what's going to happen, but you'd be surprised what else has been done here. There's a lot to cover, so we'll get started on that right now. First up is weapons added. We got the Kronos, the Dakara Prime, Dark Sword, Ether Sword, Heat Sword, Jaw Sword, Meyer Pangolian Sword, Ether Reaper, the Hate, Reaper Prime, Laser Sword, Silva and Aegis, Ceramic Dagger, Dark Dagger, Heat Dagger, the Christ, pretty sure I pronounced that one wrong, the Skeeve, the Penta, the Heck, and the Cernos. So a lot of weapons. We probably have half of the armory, or probably 2/3 of it by now, in Conclave. So there's be a lot more things to balance as more things get added. Hard to tell if all these weapons would be the strongest. Maybe the Heck would do the best, since it is a medium to close range shotgun. And I know the Skeeve one has a nasty bite for a dagger, so that might be effective too. Anyway, on to buffs. The Skana damage has been increased. That goes for the Prisma, or I guess no, the Prisma's not added to Conclave. Regardless, the Gorgon's damage has been increased. The Struncess, which is the Plane, and the both the Wraith, and the Ember's Fireball damage is also increased. Volt's shock damage is increased, and Zephyr's Dive Bomb damage has been increased. Well, it's all pretty nice, especially the Gorgon and Strun, because those weapons are never getting any love. So maybe they'll be used now. But now, the part we don't like, debuffs. The Nikana series damage has been decreased. The Cronin and Bolt Ace damage has been decreased. The Anku damage has been decreased. Bow ammo is capped at 30. The Latron series damage has been decreased. The Tiburon's damage has been decreased. The Cyberus damage decrease. The Jekajane, Galtine, and Graham, all ground slam range has been decreased. So, we kind of saw the Latron coming, and maybe Cyberus was overpowered as well. But I don't like the Nikana. Nikana was kind of the point where I wasn't even sure if I wanted to use it, but now that its damage has been decreased, I'm not going to. Because so many times that I use that weapon and just damage get away from me. People won't be happy about the Bolt Aces being decreased. And it's probably nice that Big Hammer's ground slam has been decreased, I think, by half. That's kind of called for. People are abusing that thing. But we got more debuffs. First up, we got Frost Snowglobe's health been decreased. For the better, I hope. Frost's Avalanche damage has been decreased. Ash's Blade Storm's damage has been decreased. And Ember's Fireball, even though damage went up, the speed has decreased. So, I thought it's kind of a given trade with that one. I'm glad about Ash's Blade Storm though, because there's just no avoiding that. As soon as you're in range, you're dead. Hated that. If you didn't have a Frost or a Valkyrie, you just died instantly. Next up, we got fixes. Now, normally I don't do fixes, but since this video is rather short, the content-wise, I figured I might as well cover over the most important fixes. There's a lot of fixes in the game. There's a lot of them. Always too many to handle. But this time I decided to go over the most important fixes. Ones that either I personally experienced, or maybe ones that have played the game quite a bit, from what I heard. But nonetheless, I'll go over the most important ones. First fix. Players still seeing each other in a squad even after that squad's disbanded. That's annoying. Usually I have to go to the dojo or something to remove that effect. They fixed unranked silver cores being rewarded Arcwing Interception. That sucked. Those things are garbage. Fixed players not being able to exit Sharkwing, the underwater Arcwing portion. That was very annoying. We had to constantly swim around the surface waiting to your exit. That damn thing. Next up, they fixed Spectre's not level scaling in defense survival. Even good news for that. They fixed Talrieger getting stuck underwater. That was always annoying. They fixed an issue when player dies. When they hack, they glitch the terminals. This pretty much killed a lot of raids. And they fixed the bleed out point not disappearing when someone's been revived. That's good, because that's all more annoying stuff. That's all this was annoying stuff that's been fixed. But that's all the fixes I'll cover. Thanks for sticking around, thanks for watching, and when 17.5 comes around, I'll do a video for that as well. Thanks for watching.